Hello learners, this is the third video of 34th module on counseling children with health maladjustment. Now we will see the psychosomatic problem and counseling for psychosomatic problem. The learning objective of the video would be to become acquainted with the process of counseling psychosomatic problems and health complaints, to sensitize and involve parents and teachers in management of health aspect of children. Psychosomatic problems. The word psychosomatic is the amalgamation of two Greek words, psych meaning mind, somatic meaning body. Psychosomatic complaints are the combination of physical susceptibility amplified by psychological factor. They also called as psychophysiological problems, wherein physiological problems are badly affected because of psychological stresses. The impact of this is that the individual experiences distress. The nervous system and the endocrine glands get inappropriately activated, causing structural damage to the bodily organs. Psychosomatic complaints appears as physiological collateral of an emotional state. When the body's immune system get weakened due to the stress, it causes psychosomatic complaints. A common misinterpretation is that these conditions are unreal or non-existent. But fact is that physical symptoms seen in psychosomatic issues are factual and require concrete treatment just as the other illness would. A common symptom of psychosomatic illness seen in children includes headache, pain in the abdomen, pain in the limbs, pain in the back, and pain in the chest. A feeling of fatigue and worry about health and difficulty in breathing is also seen. In some cases, nausea, sleep difficulties, and psychogenic vomiting is also observed. Causes of psychosomatic illness. Research has revealed that the main cause for these illnesses are unaddressed emotional tension. Our minds create pain when we repress unacceptable emotions like rage, anxiety, and fear. The common causes includes family conflicts or problems, chronic diseases or disabilities in parents, schoolwork or academic issues, peer pressure, family moves, psychiatric disorder in parents, or poor or coping abilities. Cyberbullying, excess learning load, authoritative teaching style, reproductive nature of learning, restriction of child's movement in the class, taboo on show of emotion. Differential diagnosis are the psychosomatic symptoms are vague. They are of varying intensity and are inconsistent. Generally, multiple symptoms are shown at the same time. The child seems to be in a good health before an issue come up and they procrastinate before seeing medical help and show a lack of concern about the symptoms. Counseling for the psychosomatic problems. At the first stage of counseling, frame the agenda, that is, meeting to be mutually decided. Review how the child is by asking simple questions. Accept unconditionally the child's or adolescent's description of symptoms, pain, and suffering as very real. Acknowledge that the adolescent is distressed. The counselor should assess the complaints by using various psychometric tests. Counselor should help the child understand what may causing the symptom. Psychoeducate the adolescent or the child, that is, discuss with them the mind-body connection, help them to control exaggerated thoughts, feelings and behaviors related to their condition. The counselor should guide the child to keep a watch on what provokes their behavior and then encourage them to incorporate changes accordingly. Explaining should be relevant to the adolescent's problem and not simple reassurance. Counselor should focus more on coping and not on curing. That is, reduce the child's anxiety, distress, hopelessness, and feeling of disability caused by the symptom. Stress is the main cause of psychosomatic complaints. The counselor should motivate the adolescent for effective way of handling stress. That includes regular physical exercise or playing, meditation and yoga, a balanced diet, spending time in interest and hobbies, regular relaxation, sharing thoughts and feelings. Parents and teachers to be involved in helping the child. The teacher to be counseled in the being more accepting and trusting the child. Parents to be guided by the counselor for being more understanding and expressing their solidarity with the child. Concrete health goals to be framed. Friends and peers to be taken into confidence and should be guided to offer help in boosting the self-esteem of the child. Conclusion. The objective of the school counseling is to enhance growth and development in 3 developmental domains, that is academic, career and personal social. To achieve this, the child should be both physically and mentally healthy. Health is a resource for everyday living which gets affected by the environment. Learning to accept the stress and managing stress and challenges is necessary for optimum functioning. Helping children coping with challenges and stress will pave the way for wholesome development. Involving and integrating parents, teachers and friends will go a long way in helping the health maladjusted child. With this, I hope we have all got the concept of counseling children with health maladjustment, their common health complaints and psychosomatic problems. Thank you.